Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to overlay an image over a video in Flutter iOS using the AVMutableComposition API. So let's get started. So firstly you will have to run this output on a real device. It will not work on a simulator. So yeah, that's the first thing. Now let me show you guys the output. So here I have this pick image button. I'll click on this pick image button. I will just select this random image of this flower. Then I have this pick video button, and here you can see I have one video. I'll just select this particular video as well. It will start the transformation of overlaying this image on the video, and here you can see, I'll just pause the video for a bit. At the bottom right hand side corner, the image has been overlaid on the video, and if you want you can play the video as well. I'll just dismiss the video and I will save it to our Photos app. So it requires the access to our Photos app, so I'll just click on allow full access, and it will if you see over here inside Xcode, I'm just giving the callback that video saved successfully. I'm running the app via Xcode. You don't have to run it, you can run it via Flutter run command as well. And if I click on pick video, here you can see that now there are two videos, the one which is saved from our app as well. Now if I go to the Photos app just to prove it to you, if you see the last video, here you can see the video is has the overlay image on top of it, or watermark logo, whatever you guys call it. So yeah, let's see how to do this. So as usual, I have just created one Flutter application, and then you will have to go to the main.dart file, and here everything is same. Only thing is you will have to add this Flutter services import. Now I am not using this image picker plugin or the video player plugin. Everything has been done on the native iOS side. I think that's the easiest way. It's very difficult to pick a video not picking the video on the Flutter iOS from the Flutter side, that you can do from image picker, but the native iOS always get confused when we try to send the image URI or video URI. It doesn't really work, and even if I tried playing that video using the video player or the Chibi plugin, it doesn't really work as expected. That's why I have not used any third-party library. Sorry about that. So here firstly make sure you add this import of Flutter services. Rest everything is by default. Here I have just refactored this my homepage widget, so it is a stateful widget. Here I have created a method channel called overlay platform. You can name it whatever you feel like. Then here I have created one button which will help us to pick image. So here you can see that I'm just invoking a method called pick image. So same name you will have to define it on native iOS side as well. Similarly for second button as well, we are invoking a method called pick video. So same name you will have to define it on native iOS side as well. And for third button as well, we are invoking a method called save video. Same name you will have to define it on native iOS side as well. So yeah, that's it on the Flutter side, not much. Then you will just have to go to your application, Flutter application, just go to iOS and double click on this .exe workspace. It will open it inside Xcode. So here you can see I have opened it. Then firstly you can just before that what you can do is just go to VS Code iOS runner info.plist, and here make sure you add this photo library usage description permission. You can change the string to whatever you feel like. This is required only if you are trying to save the video, otherwise we don't require this. Next, coming back to Xcode. Now whatever code I'm showing it to you, you can do it via VS Code as well. It's just that Xcode gives proper IntelliSense. That's why I like writing native code via Xcode or Android Studio if you're writing Android code. So firstly you will have to go to app delegate, which you can see over here, app delegate.swift. You just have to import photos UI as well as AVKit. Then here you have to extend this PH picker view controller delegate. This is for picking this callback is for picking the image as well as the video. Then here we have created this Flutter view controller, which is for presenting our video player as well as for presenting our photos app for picking video and images. Here is our AV player view controller, which will help us to play the video. Here is the final URL variable which I have created, because once the image has been overlaid on the video, we need to get the store the video in some temporary directory for playing the video before we actually save it to the Photos app. Then here I am getting hold of our file manager. Here I have getting our selected image, whatever image the user has selected, and here I have created one variable because the delegate for picking photos as well as videos is same, so I need to know which method was called. That's why I've just created this simple variable. If it is false, that means pick video was called. If it is true, that means pick image was called. So it is by default false. Then here inside application did finish launching, this code is present by default. So here I have just created our Flutter view controller. So here we are just initializing our view controller. Then here I have created this picker channel. Again, you can name this. I think I have named this badly, but if you rename this, rename it over here as well. This name should be the same what you have defined it on the Flutter side, so I'm using the same name. Then here we are just checking which method is called. So here you can see we had defined a method called pick image, right? So that's why here we are using the same string. We are turning the variable to true. Then here we create a phpicker configuration. Selection limit is 1, filter by images. Here we do phpicker view controller, passing our configuration, setting our delegate, and here we just do flutter view controller dot present, passing our picker. Animated is true, completion is nil. Then here we call pick video as well. Each image picked is false. Then for pick video, now once this particular thing is called, I will show you where exactly the callback comes in a bit. So but the code is more or less the same for pick video as well. If you see, is image picked is false over here. Then here same thing, same this, only the filter changes, and I'm also using this preferred asset representation mode. Even I don't know what is the use of it, but I'm using it. Then here we just initialize phpicker view controller, setting our delegate, model presentation style is full screen, and here we are presenting our picker. Now both of these are same. So suppose if you pick an image, okay, so the call will come on to this particular method. So I'm checking whether if this variable is true, that means image has been picked. Once the user selects an image, this method gets called automatically. So we are overriding this method from phpicker view controller delegate. We are not creating this method by ourselves. And if this variable is true, that means image pick button was clicked. Then I'm dismissing our picker, and here basically what I'm doing is that I'm getting the image out of like a UI image out of the selected photo. So that's what this particular code does, and here we just assign it to our this variable. Now same piece of code gets called for pick video as well. So for this pick video, this else clause will get executed. Now ignore this wrap up callback. Just remember we have this wrap up callback. I'll come back to this code later on. But once a video has been picked, we come over here. Now we'll have to write some boilerplate code because we need to save that video to temporary storage. Now even I have copy pasted this from a GitHub repo. I'm not really good at this. So basically this entire piece of code which you are seeing, we are basically saving the video, selected video to temporary storage. So I'll simply scroll through this. Feel free to pause the video and copy the code. So yeah, that's it. In case if there is any error, we just call the wrap up callback and pass the error, or if we have the destination URL, we pass that as well. Similarly we do over here as well. So at if you are doing it for the very first time, this will get called. If you have already done this for the similar file, then this will get called. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Once if you now come back to our callback, so we dismiss. Once we have the saved the file to temporary storage, we dismiss our picker and then call handle pick video result. And if you see this handle pick video result, I'll just scroll down. Here it is. We just check we have the proper video URL, yes, and if we have the selected image or not. If yes, then we just create one task. We assign it, we wrap it inside do try catch, and here we create a method. We have created a method called add watermark or overlay an image or video, whatever you want to call it. I'll show you the implementation in bit. We just pass the video URL as well as the UI image. It will do all the required stuff and then give us save the video to temporary storage and give us the URL back, and then I assign it to our final URL. And here this is the code for playing the video inside AV player. Now if you come to the add watermark method, here you can see we are creating an AVMutableComposition first, then we create an AV URL asset, a video asset, then we get hold of our video track, we get hold of our audio track. Here we get the duration of our video, then here we load the tracks from our video asset. Here we load it the audio asset track, then we get the time range. Then here we insert the time range, like insert the video track inside video, audio inside audio, and then we create another AVMutableComposition. We get the render size, so video track dot natural size. We set the frame duration, then we create a CA layer for which is a parent layer. Then we create a CA layer for video as well. Then we just do parent layer dot frame and whatever is the video track natural size, same for frame for video layer as well. Then add the video layer to our parent layer. Then we create a CA layer for our watermark as well. Set the size, so here you can play around with the size change it to whatever you feel like. Then we get CG image from our UI image and assign it to our watermark layer dot contents. Then here we set the frame to it as well. Again, now this frame will display or overlay the image at the bottom right hand side corner, but you can play around with this X and Y value to whatever you want. And then we had this watermark layer to our parent layer. Then here is our video composition dot animation tool. Here we create our AVMutableComposition instruction. Then we create our CM time range make. Here we create our AVMutable video composition layer instruction. Then we create a layer instruction over here as well, and we create the instruction here as well. Then we create an export path where we want to save the file temporarily. Then we create an export URL out of it. If a file already exists with the same name at that path, we remove it. So if you want, you can assign some random date time string to this, so that if you want to save some previous data and don't want to remove it, you can do that. Here is our AV asset export session. Then here we set the video composition and should optimize for network use is true. Now this particular bit of code will only run on iOS 18, so your real device should be iOS 18 and above. I also have the code for below iOS 18 as well, but I won't recommend it because that particular code below iOS 18 code, which I have commented out below, I will show you that in a bit, will throw an error for if you're using Swift 6. Swift 6 introduces lot of concurrency features which even I don't understand. So if you understand Swift 6, you might want to use that code. But before I show you the rest of the code, you will have to go to your runner, go to general tab, select your target, go to general tab, and here you have to click on this plus button and make sure you change this 18.0 all over for all this three stuff, debug, profile as well as release. Okay, once you do that, coming back to our app delegate, here you just have to do export session dot export parts over export URL, and this is the state in which the export session is currently on. Now this particular bit of code works only on iOS 18, so if you want, you can just uncomment this block. But like I told you, if you are using Swift 6, you might face an issue, because not for this particular code, this is fine, but for this else clause for below iOS 18 which I am talking about. So here I was getting this sendable error, which I have like encountered many a times, but I still don't know how to resolve it, because not a lot of people are using Swift 6, so there is very little documentation on that. And here we just return our export URL. So yeah, that's it on overlaying the image. Now for saving the video, so again I'll just scroll up. Here you can see we have this save video method. So first we request authorization for our photos app. So here you can see I have created a method which requests access to our photos app. Once we have the access, then we check our final URL if it is have proper value or not. If once it has it, then we just have to use this boilerplate code photolibrary.share.perform changes, create request for asset from video, and see pass it our final URL. And once it is success, we just do this success block, else we do this else clause. If you want, you can send this message back to back to Flutter side as well with the help of this method channel result, this result. So you can just use something like this result and pass this particular video saved successful. Then you will have to listen for it as well. But hopefully you got the point. Again, I'll simply scroll through this file one more time because I was jumping all over the place. I'll just minimize this. Feel free to pause the video wherever you feel like and just copy the code. So I'll simply scroll through this. So yeah, that's it. If you have any question, do let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Bye.